Okay, what's up, everybody? We are here live at SolarCon, and I've got someone that's, as far as I know, broke the record for most installs in a year. Just absolute freakish video game numbers. So we're going to get into how he did so many deals, but we got the one, the only Mihir Pampale coming on the show. So thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me, boss.
Yeah. Sitting in the car here, so we got kind of a unique location, but you enjoying SolarCon so far?
It's fun. Yeah. I love coming to SolarCon. You always learn something new, dude. Like specifically in the industry, and you're not going out and learning. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
I think the best people in this industry are always improving, trying to make improvements one way or another. So great to hear from, connect with people here. But yeah, bro, so do you want to give us just a little intro, how you got into solar, how long you've been doing it, kind of Reader Digest version of your story up to this point?
Yeah, so I came to the US in 2016 for engineering, University of Utah in Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
right? So
what
if
are the
you guys
odds?
know about Utah, it's a knocking town.
Yeah.
Right, like all the door-to-door companies like Vivint and God knows, can name a bunch of them. They come from Utah, right? That's how I got into door-to-door. And then the way I found out about solar was I went on a company trip in 2020 to Cancun. And there was a guy who was doing solar. I was saying, hey, yeah, I'm some do solar. I made $500K this year. And then a lot of other people were like saying, hey, there's no way, stick with security or stick with pest or whatever industry I was in. And for me, it's just like if I hear these outrageous numbers, I like going and doing those. I like trying the industry out before I have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I got into solar. Actually, I heard someone talk about solar back in 2020. He was selling in California.
Okay.
So I had a few friends who were already doing solar. So I hit up like a few of them and saying, hey, let me try setting for you. I actually want to see how hard it is, right? So 2020 fall, October, I decided to go to Ranch Cucamonga, like Inland Empire, like San Diego and all these places. And I started setting there. I think that was Bakersfield where I first went to knock, right? And I got three deals in like 3 days, right? So I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
All I'm doing is walking with my iPad, knocking on the door and saying, do you want to save money on your electricity bills?
Yeah.
And that's how it was back in 2020.
Yeah. It's a little bit different.
And then I started seeing my paychecks and I was like, what the heck's going on? Like, it just seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
That's how I got into solar. Like I went to school for mechanical engineering, graduated, but then I was like, there's no way I'm going to go do engineering when I know there's so much money to be made. By just doing solar,
Yeah, that's funny. It's
a weird story, but that's just the truth, To be honest with you.
Well, it's funny. I literally just got done doing an interview this morning, and I'll have to introduce you to him, but Thierry, he came from Lebanon, and he studied mechanical engineering, and he has a solar dealer now, crushing tons of deals. Like, man, maybe I need to go study mechanical engineering.
Too easy. I guess it's a mathematical game, right? If you're an engineer, you're studying math, and it just mathematically makes sense to save people money on their electricity bills, and you get paid for doing it.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this more, but he was telling me he can connect with all the engineer types. I know you sell a lot of Indian families and stuff.
Everyone, right? It's like human being. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so I'm like, that seems like almost a cheat code right there to be able to connect with the engineers. That's all the people that are really tough to get to the finish line.
That's funny.
That's cool. So you started in alarms or pest control? Or?
Alarms.
Okay.
Security systems.
Okay. How long did you do that for?
Since 2019 to 2021.
Okay. So just 2 years. 2 years and then more. Okay. Cool. So how did it go in alarms? Did you have as much success in alarms by comparison?
I knocked for 2 months. You compared to because think about it, I was 19.
Yeah.
Right? I went and sold my first year. I think I did 40 accounts or 50 accounts.
Okay.
So it was 25, 30K over 2 months, right? And
pretty good.
And think about an 18-year-old guy who has come abroad to study, with no money, and you suddenly see 20K in your account within 2 months. So I definitely liked it. Once the second year, I did 80, 90K, I think, in commissions, and then I was like, no point going into engineering when I can work 3 months and make $80,000, $90,000, right? And then I switched into solar the following year. That was 2022.
Okay.
Pretty.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So did you end up graduating with? Did you get your degree in anything? Okay.
Dude, my parents would beat me if I couldn't.
You can only do solar if you graduate.
I mean, it was fun. I mean, I liked doing engineering too. Nothing wrong with it. But in the end, like the reason why we work is so that we can make money and use that money to help other people, right? So and get things in life you don't have. So in the end, it's all.
Yeah. Love that. So cool, and so now you're in Texas, right? Slinging lots of deals out there. Have a team. So yeah, I mean, let's just get straight to it, man. You did
647 installs,
647
and
installs.
I think 590 funded.
Wow.
In the calendar year of 2024. Wow. So definitely a big year.
Yeah,
right?
insane. We all thought Ricardo was like, the best, but I think
a good year. Like 500 and something, right? 558 or 559, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But I remember Ricardo introduced me to you, and he's like, "This is the only guy that's beat me." So I'm like, "Okay,
that's got luck.
Got to hear what this guy's doing." So let's get the question everyone's wondering. Like, what does it take to do what does it take to do over 600 installs, man?
Honestly, it's not that hard, but it is hard. It takes everything, dude. Like, you need to be knocking. You need to have, like, obviously there'll be some surgeons in there, right? A lot of them will be leads. Like, a lot of them will be leads.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, it has to be. So just do the math. If you have 5 setters getting 5 deals closed a week, that's 25 deals you get on a week, right? And this average setter underneath your team should close like 1 every other day. If they're not working, then that's a different story. But if they are working, they need to close 1 a day. 1 every other day at least, right? There's online leads, there was call center leads, there was leads from installers as well, right? Because if you're producing, if you have a big team doing accounts, like obviously the installer you're working with would want you to close the deals because you're doing the volume for it, right?
Exactly.
So there's all of that, right? A lot of my setters know how to close too. And the reason, the beauty about this is, say I could tell if you were one of my setters for the sake of example, right? I'm closing a deal 40 minutes away from you, and you are, say, one of my setters, right? And you partially know how to close, but you're not that good at it, right? And I just signed up 1 deal, and say you are setting the lead I have to go to is like 2 minutes, right? I can't drive within 40 minutes.
Right.
I can drive within 2 minutes. I'll make my setter go and sit with the customer, right? I tell him to open up his iPad and FaceTime me right there and then.
Oh, wow.
And then I'll share my screen and do the presentation while the setter is there.
Okay.
I'll make him move around, I'll compliment the house. Oh, dude, the lights in the house are fire. And he's always the line, like, hey, dude, your lights are pretty fire. I look beautiful in there. I'll just say some stupid shit like that to make the customer crack. And then I'll just pretty much just put something, hey, Mr. Johnson, your home is pretty fire. Like, I'll be honest with you, this is how your design looks like. I just send them a screenshot of how the design looks like. You're paying $300 a month, and it's solar, you'll be paying $240. That's it. Wow. There's no surprise charges, no monkey business. The reason why I didn't stop by a house today was because Mr. Taylor knows what he's doing. He just wants a little bit of help, and your designs are pretty good. It just makes sense. Why haven't you gone solar yet? That's how I'll transition instantaneously. Wow. And the beauty about this is, like, even though I'm closing that deal virtually, I'm not, because you're right there to make sure the docs get signed.
Okay. You're kind of doing the presentation,
If I can't make it to the appointment, so that's how I can close 7 a day, 6 a day, 5 a day.
Wow.
I don't have to be there physically, but I can have one of my setters be there, and I can be virtually right there.
So you just run to just do it in your car or something? Or?
Okay.
Legit. Wow. I was gonna say, because just like
if I can make it, I'm going to show up every single time. But I've had a bunch of deals last year like that closed because of this. It's a hybrid model. It's like virtually plus in person. You know how like a lot of the time guys are like, oh, I just want to work from home. Some of your customers won't sign documents because they are not able to talk to someone. If the customer's old, like elderly, how the heck is he going to?
And don't even know how to open. That's great, because that's my biggest question, just from like a time standpoint. Because, like you said, in order to have that much volume, I'm just thinking of my setters. Like, if I go to 3 appointments that no-showed or they're rescheduled, then that's like potentially an hour, 2 hours of driving around for nothing.
Exactly. That's what saves me time too, guys. Like I'll be honest, right? I have like a bunch of setters, right? Like, if I have 5 setters and they're setting an appointment between 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, how am I supposed to go to 3 appointments at 5 o'clock? And a lot of them are movies. Some of them probably won't even be there. Right? So if the setter is going and knocking and the customer is not home, Saves me time. So I can focus on the other two on my calendar.
Okay.
I like triple book myself. Like I've always told my setters, like if I have 3 setters and they have, say if I have like 3 setters and I have all the setters have like the appointment schedule open,
Yeah.
I just tell them triple book all of them at 5 o'clock. It's like all of them at 5.
And then do you have them try and confirm it, or you just have them show up?
I'll show up to one, and if that one answers, I'll text in my group chat saying, hey, I just got into Derek's 5 o'clock appointment.
Okay.
The 2 guys automatically know what to do. They're going to go and knock on the door. And 95% of the time, like one of the guys will say, hey man, the customer's not home yet. He said to come back in like 30 minutes. Or he said to come back in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And the person I'm with, if I'm going and talking to the customer, if it's sir, I'll sit in front of the house. Usually a close, how long does a close take? Like 40 minutes?
Well, mine take like an hour and a half, but yeah, maybe I need to close quicker.
In California though.
Yeah.
You could explain like NEM 3.0s and like weird stuff like time views and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
In Texas, it's like one
Pretty straightforward. Just here's the design. This is your new bill, and boom. Here's
the thing is, like you as a closer, you know what to give the customer. Like a lot of the guys I work with, like the customers I'm with, I'm just going to give them that one product that I know it works.
Okay.
You know, for instance, if it's working, I'm not going to give them something else unless they want like a tax standard. So unless the customer's educated enough, and if the customer's educated enough, they already know what they want.
Okay.
They've already had multiple conversations. Like, hey, give me a PPA. I legit had a customer in Florida was like, give me a 13 cents 2.9 minutes to later PPA. If you can make it happen,
No, exactly. Wow.
I did 12.9 cents. Yeah.
Yeah.
PPA, boom.
Yeah. There you go.
You know, it's just like small things like that.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, how many setters did you have last year? Would you say? Did you have like?
Clicking to me online setters too, or just in-person setters?
I guess in person.
38.
38. Okay. What did your top setter do? How many deals did your top setter get?
And I had like about. I know the closes mainly. How much do the closes make?
Yeah.
You know, but I had like 8 or 9 closes that crossed 500K
Okay.
last year. So
That's solid numbers. So if you,
I'll have to lie to you, bro. Like I don't know.
yeah, no, it's all good. But so say you get in a deal and you have the other 2. Do you just have other closers go to the ones? You triple book yourself?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I have other closes who can go to them too. But I'm just saying the situation where we all are packed.
Yeah.
Because every team, like say if I have like 100 guys, right? 80 will be setters, 20 will be closers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all my setters, like at least my experienced setters, they know how to close, but not at the level we close at. You know, they'll know how to close like basic documentations and all that stuff. But as long as it's an experienced closer who can like be on the phone or be on FaceTime with them, it should be fine.
Yeah.
You know, if all the closes are booked, that's when I do this. You know, and then you already know how some setters only want you closes.
Yes.
Certain setters it doesn't matter.
Like I'll reschedule that. Just something here, you know.
Yeah. You don't want anyone else going. That's the problem too.
Yeah. Incredible. So and you mentioned you got in-person setters. You had call center, right?
Call center. Yeah.
Then you also did online leads, right?
Leads too, yeah.
And then also leads from installers that they would give you.
I mean, it's the same thing as online leads, right? Because they probably get leads from somewhere. Or like referrals, right? Like one of my customers will text the installer like, hey, my friend is looking for solar, right? And they'll send that my way. Yeah.
Okay, so you basically had 3 kind of lead sources that you're getting appointments from.
Yeah,
well, I guess
door knockers, online leads, and then installer leads. If you just make it like simple stuff, you know?
Okay. Yeah, so and that's I mean no wonder you're doing so much volume. Most companies that I talk to, it's like they're only getting one lead source a lot of times, or sometimes they're trying to like put all their eggs in different baskets, but they're not like
systematic about it.
Yeah, they're not like really mastering any of them. They're just getting like a few leads from one, a few leads from the other. So how did you like manage all that? Did you set up the systems? Are you a big systems guy, or who manages all this leads?
Yeah, I was a guy who does like systems and all that stuff. Okay. And then installers have like the CRM too. Okay. So I like using this app called Copernic. I don't know if you've heard about it. Copernic, on like Monday, right? And you will just say which closer the lead was dispatched to and all that stuff. And the closers have to go on Monday and say it's in progress or like closed or not, you know, or cancelled or wasn't home. If they don't, they just don't get leads. Like why would we want to send leads to guys who are not on top of the shit. Like, if you have been given a lead, make sure you notate. Yeah, exactly. Notate on that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. One thing I like too was like all my closers as well. All my setters, like door knocking setters, they'll call the neighborhood they're gonna be knocking, like before they actually go and knock. Like let's be honest, all the solar setters and closers, when do we start knocking? If it's not the summer, we start at like 2 or 3, and we go to like 8, 7 or 8, right? Unless you're in the house. If it's summer, you go early, like 12 o'clock or so. After meetings and all that. But I'll make them call like an hour or 2 before going to the neighborhood, so that at least having some small mental wins, and the rusty pitch is already out.
Wow. Just like warm up the area.
While they drink energy drinks and all that stuff. Get the point, like,
and then they're usually getting, there's a pretty common that they're getting like a deal set up or an appointment set up.
Not every, but there are certain setters who will.
What gave you that idea to have them call? You just,
there's like virtual guys who are calling anyway, so I was like, why not make in-person guys call before we go to the neighborhood? And you use that as ammunition. Oh yeah, we talked to Miss Johnson, she lives here, and then we were going to stop by her house, but while we are in the neighborhood, it's our job to make sure your energy audit has been done.
Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy idea. I like it.
It's hard to implement, but once you implement it,
so you saw your numbers go up?
Yeah. The rest are doing better because of that.
Okay.
And the guys who were scared of knocking, they were just like, you know what, I'm just going to dial the whole day. And if they were setting solid leads, if you're setting 2 or 3 a day, dude, I don't blame you. Do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to twist your arm if you don't want to go out and knock today.
Yeah.
But hey, like he's knocking and he got 5 on the week, and you're dialing and you have done 1 on the week.
Yeah, you're like,
so then have some guys who are doing like 8, 9 on the week, just dialing.
Right?
8, 9 is a setter.
Dude, that's pretty good.
Solid. If you get no industry, dude, like 8, 9 is a setter a week is pretty solid.
Super solid.
From dialing non-stop.
So did the dialing guys get as many deals as the knocking guys, or?
Some of them, yeah.
Really?
There were some guys who just like sucked on the door. I don't know, but then they were like pretty solid
on the phone.
They were solid on the phones. So that's actually Derek too. Derek is pretty solid too.
Yeah.
So when we're sitting on you're Derek. I guess not listening.
Okay, what to do? Follow up podcast. No, that's crazy, bro. Well, yeah, and so another thing I want to ask you about. I know you, before we hit record, said you get a lot of like some cells which people would consider tougher, like the Indian families. People like, I'm jealous. You got the Indian accent and everything. Like, I wish I had that accent, so people would like, all the Indians would buy from me. But what's the secret to like? You think it's more of a mindset thing, selling to Indians, or like what's your secret?
I honestly think it's all about the mindset, and I'll tell you guys why too. Right? Like I was not the first year when I did, smart home or security system or whatever. I was knocking in Alabama, right?
Okay.
And then, dude, like trust me, I was the only brown guy there. I feel like, and like
I don't even
know where it was. I was like, I don't even know Montgomery. No, I don't know where it was. Alabama, somewhere in Alabama.
Okay.
Near the border of Pensacola, Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, okay, Mobile
and Pensacola, the border area. So I was walking in Pensacola and Mobile.
Yeah.
And every single, in my head, I was just like, hey, like my accent's thick. These white guys don't understand what the heck. It's my first year knocking, right? So in my head, I was telling myself, hey, my accent's thick. These white guys don't know what the heck I was saying, right? They just don't like me. They're trying to shoot me. What the heck? I had a gun pulled on me. So I was like, I think it's just a market.
Yes.
But then, like, one of my managers told me, like, hey, this is not the case. We have a bunch of Indians who work with us, and like some basic stuff you need, like a 19-year-old guy needs to just push, And I was like, yeah, maybe it's the mindset. And I started reading books and all that stuff. Started listening to like podcasts and YouTube motivational videos and trainings. And then obviously, as I was doing that, I got my first deal like within 40 hours of me doing that, right? And then once I got that deal, it's the rush you get, the adrenaline rush. You get, like, dude, I just went with my iPad, closed someone, and made $800. And it's just like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
And then that's when something clicked. And then I was just like, dude, like this is just the easiest job out there. And then it's like metamorphism, right? Like you just don't know when it happens.
Yeah.
It's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, It just happens.
Yeah.
Like the butterfly never knew it was a caterpillar. It just happens.
I like that analogy, yeah.
Right? So something just clicked, and then I was like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
It's too easy. And then I just kept on. going ham.
Well, it seems like most top producers I talk to, it's almost like, yeah, you can figure out the system, the leads, but also the huge thing is mindset. A lot of guys say that's almost like a bigger factor than getting the leads. And then what would you say? You think it's more like having like a mindset shift?
It definitely, dude, as dumb as it sounds, guys, like I don't even know what the heck it is. It's definitely mindset. It's like the gym, right?
Yeah.
It's like 95% diet.
Yeah.
If you're not eating healthy, you're not gonna.
Yeah, you go to the gym all the time.
Yeah, you can work. A bad diet can definitely fuck up a good start.
Yeah.
Right, similarly to that, like a bad mindset can fuck up the best pitch you have.
Yeah.
Right, if you just are not in the right mindset, the customer's not gonna find.
Yeah.
And then also obviously having the systems with the right mindset too.
Yeah.
Right, you can be the luckiest guy out there, but if you don't buy a lottery ticket, you're never going to win.
Yeah.
Right, so you can have the best mindset, but if you don't have the right systems to back it up and go forward with it, you're never going to succeed into closing it.
Yeah.
You can have the best mindset. If you don't go and knock on the door, you're never going to close it.
Yeah. It's like people that just are learning all the time. They come to 10 of these conferences,
Yeah.
go read the books, but then they're working like a couple hours a day. It's like, hey, you got to put in the input
Dude,
too.
and I've had so many guys who tell me, hey, why do you go to door-to-door? Why do you go to SolarCon? Learn, bro. You always learn. They're like a lot of these guys who are like, oh, I did like 70 last year. I did like 120 last year. That's good, but you can always get better.
Yeah.
The way you get better is by going to conferences like SolarCon, DDDCon, and Knoxville University stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I just like going and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and so, walk me through your schedule. If someone wants to do this many deals, I mean, yeah, like
Schedule during the summer.
yeah, in the summer, like how much are you
It's like
working?
9 a.m. to like probably like 3 a.m. like legit. But I'm not even kidding. It's bad.
Holy cow.
Because the leads come all across the board, and then if it's an online lead vendor, they are some of them are overseas. They are asking, texting at like super late at night. So no, it's bad. Like yeah, I know it's the schedule is pretty bad.
So you're not like closing deals that late though, right? You're just okay.
My last door might be like 11, 12 max. If I'm in a house at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and if it's taking longer because the customer wants to eat food or whatever, you know how those late night deals are. But usually I'm out by like 10, 11 max. Max.
So 3 a.m. That's just kind of like managing accounts.
That's like managing accounts, talking to. I have a good management team now, where I have like an assistant who handles all that stuff. But realistically, when you start doing it first, even if you guys talk to guys who are selling 100, 200 accounts a year, you will see that up until like 2, 3 a.m. Like either dealing with reps, if you have a bunch of reps, you're dealing with the customers, or you're dealing with account management stuff or installers. Like, hey, like what's going on with this one? The roof is leaking. Small things like that, right? So it's a pretty tight schedule during the summer. It's I know it sounds weird, but dude, I just don't think of this as work.
Yeah,
That's just life.
It's life. Yeah.
I don't complain when I wake up and eat food or like brush my teeth or go to the gym or drink rain bang energy drinks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's just life. That's just what you signed up for. If this doesn't excite you, just don't do it.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Some people say, like, I want to be like Mihir. I want to close this many deals, but then you ask them their schedule, and they're going out there like 3 o'clock, working till like 8.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, if you want the success he's having, then you might need to change a few things.
Yeah. It's just a stacked calendar too. And like trainings in the morning and all that stuff. It just takes up, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I do stay up till 3 a.m. too is because of the fact that that's the alone time I have too.
Okay. So
Like, 2 to
like,
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I have like some peace of myself where like no one's blowing up my phone.
Yeah.
And no one's like calling me non-stop and all that stuff,
yeah.
But that, just being honest, that's my schedule during the summer.
Okay.
Right? Over the winter and like Jan, Feb, March, it slows down a little bit. It's on and off in bliss.
Okay.
I do like 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off, like the whole year.
Okay.
And then summer
Here's
goes
recharging. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then your whole team, are they working it? Well, you probably don't even really have time to knock with your guys or anything, right? I mean,
I make
appointments.
time to knock. Like I usually I don't hold all the things. I just wanted to make a statement last year and the year before, so I just went ham.
Yeah.
I mean, if I close 200 to 400 accounts a year, I'm fine with that. Like, because then if I can have like 10, 15, 20 guys who can close like 200 account, 100 account, that's what That's what excites me the most.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you can make a lot of money alone, right? But it has a small shelf life.
Right.
Right? That's one of the reasons why people work at bigger companies, is where they can have the vision of growing and recruiting more reps and all that stuff. Because once you're like 70, 80, what are you going to keep on?
Yeah, no.
You need a team to, help them grow, get some overhead. It's like a business, right? You can't be the only producer in your business.
Right. Yeah, impacts.
You want like 20 people like you, so you can plug yourself out and help them out,
Yeah.
Like, I can't help out closing if I'm the one closing deals non-stop. Like, when should I talk to them,
Exactly. So you have a few people this year that you think you got quite a good gold door guys and stuff.
One of them is sitting right there, the other one is standing next to him and talking. There's like one guy right there.
Okay.
Yeah, all my guys are here right now.
Wow.
Like every single one. It doesn't matter if you're doing one deal a year, one deal a month. You get the point. Like, I have everyone here. That's so fun right now, just because I want them to learn, grow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good,
Talk
man.
to other companies out there. Talk to whoever you want to talk to. Just learn whatever you can.
Yeah, well, I love the abundance mentality too, because I tell people all the time, this solar wasn't like that when I first started back in 2016. People weren't.
Oh, 2016.
We didn't have SolarCon. People were very secretive. If someone was closing a big volume of deals, they were going to talk about it. Nothing like this. So yeah, it's cool that we got so much abundance now that guys can come and collaborate, share what they're doing.
I mean, I like such things. I don't like guys gatekeeping all these. A lot of people don't tell other people about DDCon and SolarCon. I didn't know about DDCon until last year, bro, or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was working a lot. That's a different story, but it was gatekept by like few other companies I was with. They just didn't want us to expand or go out. Do one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, that's good. So, and I want to ask you about, because what's even more impressive than the deals is you actually had the installs, right? So you had over 600 installs. How many closes do you think you had to hit that? Like, gotta be like
7 something.
7 or 800.
Yeah, 7. Right? I can see on the 5 or 4, but like 700 something.
Okay. So that's an insane pull through, because usually guys that are doing volume, it's like usually just because
80% installation rate. That's in the system too. I send customers like a gift card. Like, I remember like one of the customers wasn't answering my phone or like the installer's phone, text message, nothing like that. I legit had to DoorDash him pizza, and I paid the DoorDash guy extra, like paid him like 30 minutes extra so he could call me and I could talk to the customer. And the customer was like, "Oh dude, sorry, you got a new phone." I was wondering what's happening with solar stuff. But having those systems lined up, like all my guys have access to something called as a concierge, right? Where if the guys want, it's dumb. If they want the Airbnb's book, instead of texting me now, they text the concierge line.
Wow.
And I have a budget for every single rep, right? And that gets taken out. Like 200 kilowatts on the blitz, like your Airbnb's paid for.
Okay.
Right? In a group. Right? So that's my override that covers it.
Okay.
And with anything extra I make, it's fully I'm transparent with all my guys, like how much I'm making individually and what I use that money for. It's like, hey, like Taylor, if you're my rep and I'm making, say, hypothetically $100 a kilowatt, right? So say you do 100 kilowatts, right? Hey, I spend that's $10,000 an override. I spent $4,000 on an Airbnb because you hit that number, and I spent the remaining $3,000 for leads for you, so you could close those deals and make X amount of dollars on them, which you wouldn't have had if I didn't spend.
Wow.
And you know what? $2,000 is my profit because of all the account management I have to do for you.
That's cool.
That's the fine with that, because if you go from closing 5 deals a month to 10 deals a month, why would you do it?
Yeah, super worth it. That's cool. I've never heard that much transparency. Usually guys are
and if guys want to leave, yeah, sure, be my guest. It's the ego and the pride that's going to make you go away, and you're going to come back again because something happened while you were trying to do some stuff that didn't work. And obviously if some guys don't like it, I just like being transparent,
It's fire.
So it's just like whatever.
Yeah, so what are the things you guys do to get these accounts to install? Do you have like, I don't know, what's your process? What do your account managers do? Any like secrets you have to share with that?
Y'all, like Texas, like all the installers I work with, it's like sub 2 week installs.
Okay.
So if a deal is going to cancel within like 3 days, 2 days, I mean, the small things like DoorDash stuff I told you about, I do that. I mean, I send crumble cookie out. So it's like whatever the customer likes. One of my customers like Texas Roadhouse, so I sent him a Texas Roadhouse gift card.
Okay. So just you're kind of paying attention to stuff they like, and then after signing, you just text your project manager, hey, send them this or whatever.
And rebates, right? Like installs I work with, they do like cashback rebates and help with the utility bills and all that stuff. So it's just the way you sell a deal.
Okay.
Right? But a lot of my customers have like random rebates, like
Okay. And because I mean, you said you're selling these things in 40 minutes, which that's pretty quick compared to a lot of people that I hear closing deals. So, like, can you walk us through what's your like closing structure? Because I don't know if you're like going through the documents in depth, and I imagine you have some people like these engineers and all that maybe have more technical questions and everything.
Yeah.
So how are you handling that? If it's more tech, are you changing your presentation quite a bit depending on who it is?
When I say that's not like 40-50 minutes average closing, it's like pretty straightforward. Because, I focus mainly on PPAs right now, because the loans have like weird dealer fee changes and all that stuff. Yeah. So PPAs are pretty straightforward. Like, hey, Mr. Customer, using 30,000 kilowatt hours, you're paying 17 cents. Based on how much sunlight falls on your roof, I'm locking in at 13 cents. Yeah. And I'm locking in at 14 cents. I'm locking in at 16 cents. I don't think that deals are that hard. We keep it pretty simple.
Okay.
But the reason why that's complicated because they think it's hard, like to sell on the escalators and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm taking a 2.9 escalator, I just tell the customer, their power bill rates go up, and you have already seen how much they go up. This doesn't go up by more than 2.99%. Let's go, and I'll give them like a high question,
Yeah, you owe me.
Yeah, small things like that. It's like, and then second thing is like it's hard because you have to see with the customer. You might not care about the savings. You might want your roof to be fixed.
Yeah.
So I'll just tackle in the roof with the solar project, and so what? It's $50 a month more expensive.
Yeah.
Right? You got the whole roof done.
Yeah.
It's small things. Create a financing side of it, right? If a customer has like, I don't know, like $5,000 that he needs, I'll just give it out of my commission. You get the point, like by moving the PPW and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which it's tolerable levels. So like if financier is allowing it, there was the issue with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's smart. It's just funny how people pay more to have get a $5,000 rebate. If they're paying.
Because they need it for something. It's still savings.
Yeah, but you gotta play it.
Let me give you an example, right?
Yeah.
Say you have a car that's worth $10,000 and you're paying $400 a month or $300 a month for the car.
Yeah.
Right? If I can increase your electricity bill or like the solar bill by $50 a month and take care of a $300 a month payment, now you are saving overall.
Yeah.
I think I'm I'm an engineer, right? Obviously, but I'm like a home energy expert. My goal is to save you money. And if it's going to be with the HVAC or paying off your car and all that stuff with solar, I do that. Because in the end, I'm showing you, so if it's saving you money overall.
Yeah, it's almost like a refi for a different thing.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Right? I just like having fun with the customers. And if they want pure straight up savings, boom. It's 13 cents. If the customer asks me, can you go lower? I'm like, good. It just depends on how much sunlight falls on your roof. Your roof allows me to go to 13 cents. That's it. I can go higher, but that's the lowest I can.
Yeah. It's true though. I think the more creative we made with solving problems, because that's what makes people valuable, solving problems. So
yeah.
And I've actually noticed that. I've seen a lot of top guys there, including other services or they're lumping in other
and if the customer
payments,
needs it, right?
whatever.
If the customer needs it, you are having a conversation, right, with the customer. So if the customer doesn't care about all that, so yeah, sure, boom, that's why you should go solar, because you're paying 18 cents, because it's 14 cents, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no surprise charges, no monkey business.
Yeah. Okay, well that. And then, do you have any other things that you think separate your presentation? I don't know, how you framing the deal in a certain way, or what's some secrets in your presentation?
I'll be honest with y'all, I don't even talk about solar when I'm inside the house. I'm just complimenting them on their lives and just having a basic conversation. I don't like having a pitch. I just have same way we are doing this podcast. I just like having a conversation instead of a pitch. So I talk about random stuff. Okay. And then I just show them the proposal. I show them the numbers, dude. You tell me if it's gonna work out. Taylor, if it's not gonna work out, let's just not do it. That's not a big deal. But it looks like with my eyes, you're paying 20 cents. I'm locking it at 14 cents. It's saving you 30-40% of your power bills because you have a beautiful roof, which you told me you did that 2 years ago, right? Yeah. What questions do you have for me? It's pretty straightforward. You've already looked into solar. It's saving you $31-40 a month. Let's get the ball rolling. Cool.
So
Your first name?
So I need to think about it, Mihir. I need to think about it.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time to think about all that stuff. Let's just see if Onsor approves your application. Right? I'll do the engineering designs and all that stuff for you. So I can leave you with the information you're looking for. And then we can see if it gets approved or not. Cool.
Okay.
Boom, boom,
So-
boom. And if they tell me they want to think about it and they're saying no out here, I'll move them from the location.
Okay.
And if they're saying, if you're telling me no, I have to think about it, because it's in the zone you are in. So let me do this really quick. Let me just make sure that this is still a good fit for you. Can you come out with me for a sec? So if you were supposed to place the panels, would you place them on this side of the roof or this side of the roof? Oh, cool. On the design I had on the other side of the roof. So I'll move the designs over. Okay, let me take a look at a breaker really quick. Now I'll take them to the breaker, right? And then I'll frame the question again. Okay, so you want panels on this side, the breaker's already upgraded, all that stuff, and you think if you save 40-50 bucks a month, it's pretty I'll ask them, right? If you say 40 to 50 bucks a month, it will make sense, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me see what I can do.
Okay, so you only do that if they're giving you some resistance, or it seems like they're not that sold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if they're giving me resistance, there's something wrong. Whenever they're giving me resistance, because I didn't do my job right.
Yeah.
So I'm doing something wrong.
Okay.
So that's why I'll move them around to get to the main point.
Okay.
Because logically speaking, like, that's logical, right? I'm engineering, so it's mathematical. Logically, why won't you do something that's going to save you money?
Yeah. What about because I mean, with the Indian, typically with Indian families, they want to shop, they want the best deal.
Indians a different way of selling it, though.
Yeah.
Indians a different way of selling it. Because when you're selling Indians, you're selling them on the cheapest price possible. So they think you can go cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Exactly.
But that's not the case. You can always go cheaper. It's the way you sell. One thing I've realized is a lot of people sell solar only and only on savings. If you're trying to sell someone on savings and savings only, they're gonna be wanting to save more. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And that's not how you do it.
Okay. So with Indians, with those type of people, you just approach it different. You're not talking about savings. So what do you selling them on?
Helping the environment and all that stuff. In the end, they're still Indians, dude. Like, it still comes out to it's all numbers game for them, right? But the way you do it is like you anchor it super high.
Yeah.
And then you show you're defeated. Then you show you're defeated again.
Okay.
And you show you're defeated
So you just start a lot higher than
again. You go defeated again. And then you pull out, let me call the manager. Let me call the owner. And then, dude, this is the best guy.
Yeah.
Dude, if not, I can't even do anything. And I'll just get up. I'm like, just let me know. You know? And they're like, no, this is good. Okay, cool. But then I'll be like, dude, if I can do all this stuff for you, can you refer me to this.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Okay, and then before we started recording, you mentioned you get a lot of newer homes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like targeting whatever.
Okay.
But like guys who complain about newer neighborhoods, I'll go and knock with them into newer neighborhoods, and I'll show them what I do differently. Like the first thing I do in a new development, like I'll go walk into like an open house.
Okay.
I'll get information on the builder, I'll get information on the normal guys who sell the homes there, like the HOA stuff and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I'll use that as ammunition.
Okay. Just get some intel about the neighborhood and go back
and
about
use
it.
that ammunition on like go, you know?
Okay. That's awesome. Well, dude, you make it sound so simple, and I think that's the thing. So many people overcomplicate this and think there's some secret word track, secret thing, but I mean, 600 installs and sounds like you're keeping it pretty simple to me.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and it's just like, dude, like the more doors you knock, the more deals you'll get. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
The more deals you get, the more leads you get, the more closes you'll have.
Yeah.
It's all the numbers game.
Yeah.
And the better you are at, the less leads you need to go to close.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I mean, I love flooding myself with leads. And I use that money, my solar commissions I make, I see a lot of guys blowing on stupid things. I use that to generate more volume for my business, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'll give leads to my reps, I'll give whatever it takes, you know, like knocking ass and like flying them out to events, like covering small things. Like you need to move as a unit, you know?
Yeah. So good. And then, so you have a call center too, you said? Okay. Did you start the call center, or that's like...
Partnered with someone.
Okay. What was your main lead source? Was it door knocking still?
Initially it was door knocking. It's mixed actually.
Okay. So pretty even now.
For me, it is mixed because what I do is any new setters I get, I assign them to like different teams now.
Okay.
Because I want those closers to do well.
Yeah.
Right, so I like having one closer needs to have at least 5 to 6 solid setters per closer. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's usually what I do. That's why I've been going to online leagues and all that stuff. Like some of the leagues are a little bit far away, and I don't want the core closer group and the setters to lose that closer. So I'll have these setters set for him, this setter set for him. If the leads, I just take here and there. But then I have my core group of setters as well who know how to close, but they just want me to go and close their deals.
Yeah.
If I'm not good, they just try something good.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. And so the call center leads, you're running those in person too.
Yeah.
Setting booked appointments. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys don't really do virtual except for the hybrid stuff you're talking about.
Hybrid stuff. We do virtual too, but the closing at virtual has changed. Like I've talked to a bunch of these high-level virtual closers. It's all bogus, right? Like, back in 2020, 2021, 2022, it was good because it was COVID.
Yeah.
So people were doing Zoom and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But what I've realized starting 2023, 2024, those numbers just dimmed down. I actually hired a bunch of online closers that want to do in-person talking now, or in-person closing, because they're not seeing success in closing. I may be completely wrong, right? But I'm just telling you what I've seen in the industry.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like all the virtual closers are wanting to do in-person, and all the in-person guys are thinking virtual is the way to go.
Yeah.
Because that's just what Instagram shows them.
Yeah.
You know, work from home,
Work
made
from home,
10K today. Contract signing is not 10,000. Glass needs to go in the roof.
Yeah.
So like I can have like 10,000 contracts signed if I needed to, you know.
I know. Yeah, I just look at those guys. I'm like, how can it be that easy? Getting like, I feel like I have to be in person to get people to sign in, push it.
And they're the same closers, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're the same closers who want upfronts and a sign-on bonus too. Like I told you, you're making 10K a day. What happened to upfront? Why do you need an upfront and sign-on bonus?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I like in-person closing. Virtual is good too for certain clientele.
Yeah.
But like just like for commercial, I do some commercial online.
Okay.
Like super wealthy like homes in like near like the South Lake and like $5-10 million homes. They want to initially do it virtually, but then they still call someone to come to their house.
Okay.
Like even my virtual closes, I usually go tell them, hey, like this looks good. You know, all these numbers make sense. What I need to see is what kind of breaker do you have, and to see if I can save you more money when I come to your house. Because I can only save you so much money virtually because I just don't know how's your attic and all that stuff. So when is a good time someone can stop by before we can get the ball rolling?
Okay. That's good.
And then I go in person.
Give yourself a reason to come back to the house. Okay.
Yeah. That's like, but always. And if it's nowhere, I'll always have some closer going, you know, like, I don't think that's that hard to find a closure.
Yeah. Okay. And then you guys blitz a lot. Do you blitz a lot outside of the city? Okay. Small towns.
What's going on right now? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Good. Well, bro.
I love work. I don't even consider this as work. It's just having fun, bro.
Yeah.
It's just life.
Gotta enjoy the journey. Yeah, and it's like people become obsessed. The best people, they become obsessed with this, and it's funny because I work with some people where they're like, "Oh, don't talk." We'll go to like team dinners, and they'll be like, "Guys, let's not talk about solar."
Oh yeah,
Let's
don't talk about
solar.
Yeah, don't talk about deadlines. Don't talk about solar. Don't talk about like.
Well, I'm like, solar's my life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my obsession. Dude. Yeah, what is I supposed to talk about?
I know.
It's like,
it's funny.
NFTs and crypto. I can talk about that if you want.
I know. Don't take that away. Right? Yeah.
Just small things like that.
I know. Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, so before we wrap up here, Mihir, people want to connect more with you. Maybe pick your brain about more stuff. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
My Instagram or my phone number, you know.
Okay.
So
cool.
you can always hit up Taylor too, and you can just link us up, you know.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
whatever I can do to help, you know. I'm always I'm an open book. I have no filter. So that's one thing to like. I'll just tell you what I do, and if you think it's working, do it. If it's not, like, it's working for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the end, you need to find what's your why. Like, why are you doing this job, and for what?
Yeah.
In the end, it's on you.
Okay, love that. So, last couple questions, Mihir. I know you're building a pretty big team and all that. What have been some keys to Because like you talked about earlier, it's one thing if you can have success, but it's getting other people to have success too.
Okay.
So what are some things that have helped you like also get your guys cranking and producing and replicating yourself to get them to also have that level of success?
Yeah. So the reason why I did what I'm doing right now is because I noticed like when I was selling a lot, my managers started slowing down because they were getting over it.
Yeah.
You know, the way I keep my guys motivated is they know I don't need to be working so much and they know I don't need to be selling that much. Right? But here I am still working and stuff, you know, and making way more than they all know how much I make in general because I'm transparent with it, right? Keeping them motivated is by me producing and doing all that stuff, right? Second way I keep them motivated is because I just plug them with setters and leads, and they are accountable for that setter. Now, they are not working for themselves; they're working for 4 guys that I gave them, and they need to make sure this guy is making money. You know,
How do you find them setters? You running
recruiting. Instagram, online recruiting.
Okay. People are hitting you up.
People hitting me up, or like going to schools, going to bars, clubs, just talking about what I do for work. It's fun to do. Everyone's always complaining about their job, no matter what they do. I've had my solar folks complain about solar. I've had other company guys complain about other stuff, right? So like, I mean, if everyone's just gonna complain, might as well complain with me and do the same shit you're doing.
Exactly.
So, I'll make it fun like that. And I give them leads too.
Okay.
You know, hey, do you want to sell this? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's why I keep on motivated. Like, it's always the laziest close. I'll be like, hey, do you want to drive 2 hours away? There's a lead, solid lead.
I always take that.
I'll push, and they'll take them.
Sweet.
That's what keeps them moving.
Yeah.
What I've realized is people get lethargic once they make a certain amount of money and they just sit. And once you're sitting, it's hard to put you back in motion. Right? That's why you just keep on blitzing year rounds and you never slow down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and if they always have leads, they can't really stop working.
Yeah,
they not show up for appointments.
Exactly.
It's that leads.
It's also like the 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds I have. I try to increase their expenses. That way they keep them working. I make them buy like products.
Yeah.
So like not keep them broke, but like improve their lifestyle. Right? Like I mean, a lot of 18-year-olds live with their parents, right?
Sure.
They're not even have a house. So making them get their own apartment. It's a $1,500 monthly payment that they have to somehow make. And I don't know what it is. Like that's what makes them sell more.
Yeah.
That's what made me sell more. It's just, I just kept on increasing my expenses.
True. Yeah, that's good.
You know.
So how much, if you don't mind us asking, how much you make off your 600 installs, or 620?
Commission?
Yeah, how much you do last year?
Like total with overrides and everything, I have like 4,700,000 and something thousand dollars.
Wow.
Exactly. That was a total with everything.
Days. Okay.
Because if you do the math, right, like it was, some of it was getting split between, it's not that much. Like, obviously, it wasn't Sunshine. I'm not making like 10, 15 straight here.
Yeah.
But it was getting split. But I mean, dude, like, I still think I could have done more. That's the freaking annoying part, too.
Incredible. Still on there.
Because that's so close to 5, bro.
Yeah.
On solar,
you gotta
that's
hit 5.
freaking 5, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking into certain like commercial stuff right now, too.
Yeah.
Seeing, I had a buddy actually close on like a 10 million commission deal.
Oh my gosh.
One commercial deal.
Jeez. Man,
You know?
I'll talk to him after.
I mean, you get the point. Like, it's not about the money, but it's also about the high ticket sales. Like, the reason why I do this is because I want to sell, like, if I can sell something that's worth like $100 billion, I'll try selling it. You know? But that's the goal, right? Just keep selling your businesses. Like, you know, like when people, I don't know who I was talking to, but he sold his business for like 40, 50 million.
Yeah.
It's fire.
So good.
And I love seeing those things, you know?
Yeah, there's levels to it, but yeah,
Exactly.
that's impressive, brother.
It's always a bigger fish that you can chase.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, never be
It's like
satisfied.
going bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you know?
Yeah, 'cause it's true. So many reps, like they'll make $500,000 a year and they're satisfied.
Done, yeah.
So it's like, or they'll have a big month and they'll be like, sweet, I'm taking the next couple weeks off.
And dude, there might be other closes out there that we don't even know.
Could be.
Probably must have done 1,000 deals, like 800. I'm legit though, right?
That's true, yeah.
There has to be someone out there, maybe in like India, I don't know, or maybe in like Dubai or somewhere where we just don't know. UK. We're just slinging so that left and right.
And a lot of those guys, they're kind of under the radar too.
Yeah, they are.
You don't
They
know
work
about them.
non-stop, bro. Like, there's no time. There's legit no time.
Yeah.
Like I have guys right now knocking in Ohio and Washington. They're doing 7 a day. 6:30.
Nice.
Like I invited them to come out. He said, dude, I have no time. I'm like, stacked up.
Stacked appointments.
Yeah, there's just no time. So it's like, I mean, that's what motivates me. Like, dude, like these 20, 21, 20-year-olds are like going ham.
Yeah.
And I'm always around them. It's like, I can't stop.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, I don't want this guy beating me. I don't want freaking Taylor starting more than I do. The fuck?
I know, you gotta be, it keeps you on edge. That's how you know you're growing. If the guys under you are, you're like, oh, I gotta stay on my game.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they're
They're
gonna
gone.
surpass me.
It's a cutthroat industry, bro.
Yeah.
And like you see Instagram, all these guys like 18, 19, 20, 25-year-olds making like millions and millions of dollars a year. Like, and, like that motivates me.
Yeah.
I love seeing younger guys making like a lot of money because that's the whole point, you know?
Yeah, so good. Well, brother, we appreciate you coming on the show, and congrats on your success. And just to wrap up, any like final words you give maybe the rep that's struggling, or if you have a rep that's maybe not hitting their potential, anything you'd share to like some to a rep like that?
Yeah, I mean, if a rep is struggling, dude, it's not if, it's when you're gonna get paid. This job is like pretty like robotic and monotonous. Like you just have to keep on knocking and hammering and keep on trying, and you get better. You don't need any degree for it. Okay? Go to these conferences, talk to like me, talk to Taylor, talk to like Danny, talk to whoever you can.
Yeah.
And if you don't voice out your concerns, you're never going to improve.
Yeah.
Voice them out, like speak things into existence. And that's what I do. I just keep on saying these outrageous numbers. Like if you saw me 4 years ago, I was saying all these numbers and no one was believing me. And it's fine.
Yeah, right.
You have to be delusional. You have to be obsessive.
Yeah.
As long as you believe it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone else. Like don't give a fuck about this, right? And if a guy who is not hitting your goal, bro, like there's something wrong. Don't lie to yourself. If you're gonna commit yourself to your goal, do it or else don't do it. There's only two things. Don't tell others you're gonna do this and you don't do it. That's worse.
Yeah.
You know? So like be around people who are continuously pushing you, because that's what energy drives me. Right? Energy drives everyone. If you're around positive people, if you're around people who are non-stop selling, you're gonna do well.
Yeah. Love that.
That's what it is.
No secret sauce. You got to show up for yourself. You got to keep the commitments to yourselves. Otherwise, how are you gonna show up for your team? You can't even show up for yourself.
Exactly. You have one life, bro. Make the most of it. Can you imagine when you die and you're like this card or whatever comes up and it's like this wasn't what I planned for you?
Yeah.
How dumb would that be?
Yeah. You have to live with the pain of working hard now, so you don't have to live with the pain of regret later.
Exactly.
So
you said better than I did. You know.
it's true. Well, thanks again, Mihir. So, guys, go hit up Mihir. Let him know you appreciated him sharing his secrets today. And if you want to go close 600 deals and still implement the stuff we talked about today. But I appreciate you coming on, and we'll do a follow-up in the future, brother.
Yes, so let me know.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.